What is the typical pawn structure arising from the Grand Prix attack? Have you ever wondered what kind of pawn structure you can expect from the Grand Prix attack in chess? Let's break it down step by step. The Grand Prix attack begins with the moves 1, e4, c5, 2, knight to c3, knight to c6, and 3, f4. This opening is designed to create an aggressive setup against the Sicilian defense. In this structure, white typically places pawns on e4 and f4. This arrangement forms a flexible center that allows white to control important squares while preparing for a kingside attack. The pawn on f4 is particularly important as it supports white's plans for piece activity on the kingside. On the other hand, black usually responds by placing pawns on c5 and d6. Sometimes, black may choose to play d5 instead. This pawn structure aims to challenge white's center and control key squares in the middle of the board. Black's setup is often more fluid, allowing for counterplay with pawn breaks like d5 or e5, depending on how white develops. As the game progresses, white may follow up with moves such as knight to f3, bishop to c4, and sometimes d3. These moves help solidify white's center while maintaining pressure on black's position. The combination of the f for pawn, knight on c3, and bishop on c4 creates tactical opportunities and threats against black's position. If white decides to push the e5 pawn, the center can become more locked. This can limit the scope of black's bishops but also fix the tension in the center. The game may shift towards a more strategic battle over key squares rather than immediate tactical skirmishes. Black's pawn structure often includes pawns on c5, d6, and either e6 or e5, depending on the variation chosen. This setup allows black to counter white's ambitions in the center and on the kingside. In practical terms, the typical pawn structure in the Grand Prix attack supports white's goal of rapid development and kingside aggression. The f for pawn acts as a spearhead for white's plans. This structure leads to dynamic positions where white tries to exploit the space advantage while black seeks counterplay through central breaks and piece activity. Understanding this pawn structure is key for players looking to navigate the Grand Prix attack effectively. White focuses on applying pressure on the kingside and controlling the center, while black aims to undermine white's position and create counter chances. This balance makes the Grand Prix attack an exciting choice for players who enjoy an aggressive yet adaptable approach against the Sicilian defense.